Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. We are back in East Vineland at where else other than Kubota Farm. So I started to actually prepare for recording this episode I suppose it's almost an hour ago at this point. Um, if you remember last time we rolled out, we completed a contract. Kind of slips me. It was on the field that I thought looked like Texas, but really didn't look like Texas at all. And then I had a second contract, a seeding contract. In fact, what was that? Was that a seeding contract we did last time? I can't remember. Anyways, so I was setting up for this game. Figured it was time to move ahead a month, which we have, by the way. We've moved into April. And since I've done that, I actually just haven't glanced over our animals real quick. Make Sean, the sheep and his friends are okay. Piggies look good. Well, I started dealing with the disappearing contracts again, and I don't know. I'm beginning to become more and more convinced. Wow, this is an interesting shaped field. I wish we could go that way. Wouldn't that be nice? I'm beginning to become convinced that it's got to be something to do, I think, with East Vineland. I have no contract mods installed whatsoever. And I skipped ahead a month and just watched the contracts pop up and just watch them disappear. It's either East Vineland or it's a mod conflict that isn't happening, I don't think, on any other maps I have. So if any of you have any ideas, I'm going to go ahead and turn on our GPS here. Have any thoughts or ideas? I mean, I guess I could, whoops, don't want to do that. I could start doing my mod conflict thing where I start, hey, oh, there we go, hitting the wrong buttons, Brad, where I just start picking off mods and seeing what's breaking it. But I feel like that's going to be a little more difficult in this case because it's disappearing contracts. So I think I'm just going to live with it, and I don't know, maybe, maybe it'll clear itself up. I really don't know. We're getting pretty close to harvest season anyway, so we're not going to be dealing as much with them. But this is the contract I grabbed, and I was actually seriously considering this bad boy right here. I know that we did one a few episodes ago, but that's a payoff of a contract, isn't it? 30 grand? Maybe we should nab it and do it later. Might do that. What do we have to sow here? Soybeans? Soybeans. All right. Let's make sure we've got soybeans selected. Let's fire up our... What do we have today for a tractor? Dropped off the old McCormick. I haven't used it in McCormick in quite a while. Let's get seeding so we can get this contract taken care of, get a few $1,000s in the bank. This is a nice, pretty nice looking combination though, don't you think? I like it. I mean, if you're a red fan, red and white, I'm not the biggest red fan in the world, but I do like the way this looks. Pretty sharp, actually. Very, very nice. We're just going to cut this straight through and not worry about getting fancy with this. So I hope your week is going well. Thursday has come upon us and getting close to the end of the week. And of course tonight is another Throwback Thursday. In fact, I'm going to be recording that shortly after I finish here on Kubota. Yeah, I do like this combination very much. In fact, I think what we should do, just to make it look even better, let's turn off those GPS lines so we can get the full Monty. I actually didn't look to see how much seed this field was going to take, but to be honest, I just bought a 1,000-liter sack, and if we run out, we run out, and we'll get to filling. It's a pretty decent-sized field, though, so we're going to earn our contract fee this time around. That's for sure. And let's give her a lift. I probably could do headlands so we're not completely devastating these bushes. So why don't we run a headland across here just to give it a little bit of a nice touch. We'll do one, maybe we'll do a couple headlands and see how that goes. Lots of mods coming out again. It seems like we've had a couple busy mod days. That's pretty sweet. I actually haven't had a chance. This week's just been weird for me as far as kind of busy. I haven't had a chance to really sit down and look at the mods that have come out. I saw that it looks like we've got some... it looks like there's an update for Maze Plus. It looks like there was a pretty nice New Holland tractor mod that came out, I think, Wednesday. For you Scania fans, if there are any of you watching, we got a nice little... Well, I think they called it a lizard. I think it's called a lizard, but... They're Scanias. They've got the old Scania. What is that? Is it called a T-hood? I think a 142, but I think it's numbered differently even. But nice couple of Scania semis. A nursery. I saw a nursery mod, and I think I even saw. I think that nursery mod is greenhouses for growing bushes and stuff. I wanted to take a closer look at that one as well. I thought that one looked kind of interesting. Let's pop inside and do a little inside the cab view. Listen to the McCormick hum a little bit. Now McCormick's, I don't see a lot of these on YouTube when I'm watching my real life farming videos. I don't know if I guess I don't really know much about them. Maybe I should check that out and see. I'm gonna make a guess that they're Agco, another Agco brand. I could be wrong with that, but I'd be curious to see where McCormick's are produced at and where they are mostly used at. I don't recall seeing a lot of McCormick's in the States. And I can't even recall on the UK, the British farmers in the UK that I watch. Man, I can't really recall seeing McCormick's being around there a lot. Now I'm curious. Now I'm kind of curious. The name kind of strikes me as being, is that Irish possibly, or take a look at that. Let's see what that's all about. I'm always curious at looking at the game equipment in real life, you know, and watching YouTube videos. It's always something I like to do, especially when they get, like when Vermeer was introduced. I just started watching as many Vermeer videos as I could because, especially the self-propelled baler, watching that thing scoot around is pretty awesome. I also watched, I remember, what was it? What's the Canadian, the really big planters we've got? I think they might have been a DLC in 19. Oh man, that's gonna bug me. I don't think I have them. Here, let me stop you. Actually, you know what? Let me put the brakes on you for just a quick minute. Sorry everyone. It's bugging me and I don't know if I added I don't know if I added them into the game here. Oh, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, they're they're a mod, but I think they're a Giants mod. You all probably know what I'm talking about. They're the big, massive planters that are usually the two-piece, with the cart and the air drill. Oh, Brad. Back up the bus. You did it again. You did it again. We're not going to be able to back up that good. You know what? Instead of driving over the seated area, excuse me, why don't I drive over the non-seated part of the field? But yeah, I get curious about the equipment and seeing it in real life, and I really like watching farmers use it, and not just, the videos that are like, some of them are clearly designed as more advertisements. I like watching the ones that are kind of not, so that you get the real feel for how the equipment performs. I did watch a cool video. It was how to operate the Anderson. Are they the Phanteks? The big, the sausage, the baling sausages makers. And boy, I said that really weird. But anyways, there was I think it was a dealer, and they put out a how-to video on how to operate them, and I thought that was pretty interesting. Actually, it's cool to see. One, it's cool to see the equipment in real life because you really see the scale of it, and sometimes, like, I'm looking at this right here, and I'm thinking, okay, this planter isn't that big. It's what, it's a 6 meter, I'm assuming it's 6 meters. And it just, it's not very big. And I say it's not very big because I'm thinking of some of the, really large planters we have in the game. But in real life, this thing, I mean, it's big. It's not massive, but it's big. And I like looking at that stuff. And I like hearing the tractors too, and comparing the engine sounds and things. And you get the idea. I spend too much time on YouTube, probably. And that's another thing that kind of amazes me a little bit, is how YouTube... Oh, is that a little toolbox right there in the front? Oh, that's nice. It kind of amazes me how YouTube has kind of become... it's a network. It's nowadays... It is what ABC and CBS, and when I was a kid, you'd get home and you'd turn on the TV and maybe watch your after-school TV stuff, and now it's... Oh, I see, that whole frame doesn't lower, so it's just the bottom of the drill part that lowers down. That's kind of cool. YouTube is... I probably... Well, I shouldn't say probably. I definitely watch more YouTube during the week than I do any streaming service, and definitely any network TV. I rarely watch network TV anymore. And I was talking to a buddy today about that, and he was saying the same thing, that, he couldn't remember the last time he turned on like ABC, CBS, NBC, and not to be a TV snob or anything like that, but it's not often, at least in my opinion, and maybe yours certainly may differ, but it's not often that those network television stations produce the kind of quality content that we get on HBO and used to Netflix somewhat. Netflix, I feel like, hasn't... I'm wondering too, with Netflix, like, it seems like they used to produce a lot more gotta see content, and that seems to have trailed off over the past year or two. But I kind of wonder if it's that, or if other streaming services have just gotten better, so Netflix to me doesn't stand out as much as it used to. Hulu, when I remember when Hulu first came out, and for the first, well, actually up until probably 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I really didn't think much for Hulu. I didn't really care for Hulu's. I'm blind, I cannot see where I'm going. There we go. I really didn't have a lot of good things to say about programming on Hulu. And I remember being really frustrated with Hulu for a while because there were things that you could watch on your TV, like using a Apple TV or a Roku, or even a Fire Stick, but you couldn't stream on a mobile device. And I remember calling them, and I talked to a lady there, and I said, hey, I would definitely keep my subscription with you if I could watch everything that I can watch at home on a mobile device. And and she was really, really nice, and she said, yeah, totally understand. It's contractual. It's not our choice. It's it's the content creators or the studio. Whoops, I didn't want to turn that off. I kind of just wanted to lift. There we go. And so I gave Hulu a bit of a break on that, and I was like, all right. I kind of stuck with them. I think I kept the cheapest package I could get, and but they've gotten a lot better, at least in my opinion. I actually really, really like Hulu now. In fact, if I had to choose, I'd probably keep Hulu over Netflix at this point. And I know I'm probably going to catch a little grief for this, but I'm a Handmaid's Tale fan, I'll tell you right now. And this week's episode, oh yeah, it was good. It was really good. But I get talking about TV, and yeah, I get going. The Amazon Prime is another one of those that I feel like has come a long ways and has gotten better, like a lot better, at least in my opinion. And I think part of that is because they seem to have taken on some older programming that you can't find very easily in a lot of places. And I think that's kind of made me get back to really liking Amazon Prime. And it's actually, I think, Freevee, to be more specific, but I think it's an Amazon Prime. I don't know if Amazon owns Freevee or not, because they own IMDb now. It's hard to know who owns who anymore, right? You find out that Kentucky Fried Chicken is owned by the same people that owns, Taco Bell and all these other things, and you're like, man, that's not right. It doesn't sound right to me. Where's the independence nowadays? Where's our independent fast food chains? I think Wendy's might still be. I actually do. I think Wendy's might still be family owned and operated, I think. And I remember was it Dave? What was his name? Dave. I forget his last name. I'm pretty sure his first name was Dave, the founder of Wendy's. So I guess he named it after his daughter. He wrote a book that came out when I was a manager at a bookstore. And I think I read the whole thing. I don't remember it really well, but I do remember that it was a good book. It was a nice read. I gained a little respect for old Dave, and yeah, I like Wendy's. Wendy's is good. I think, I don't know. It's poor Burger King has just wow. Just wow. And I don't know some of these fast food chains if it's the actual food or if it's the people making it, because it's bad. It's really, really bad. Like Burger King, and I'm sorry if any of you are big Burger King fans. Why? It's so bad. I can't remember the last time. I mean, well, I've stopped going to Burger King because I just can't. I haven't had a good meal there in like 5 years. The one thing I do want to try at Burger King, though, are the fake Whopper things. I want to give those a shot. I really do. I've heard nothing but good, which is kind of weird because it's Burger King and everything's kind of trash. but the fake Whopper I heard is pretty legit. And who was it that recently came out with? Was it Kentucky Fried Chicken that came out with fake chicken nuggets? I think it was KFC. But do any of you get a little nervous about this fake stuff? Because I don't know. It just seems like history has shown us that at the end of the day, everything in moderation is the key to better health. Did I do that to that field? Oh, I have been doing that to that field. Oh, sorry. And, you know, sugar was getting a horrible rap for a while. And Splenda and these nasty alternatives that leave horrible aftertaste in your mouth and stuff. I'm sorry, but they are nasty. And then we start finding out, of course, that, you know, these things might contribute to heart disease and cancer and different health risks. Well, duh, you know. Sugar's natural, man. Sugar's out of the ground. We can do sugar cane here in Farm Sim. I don't know. I'll keep with my sugar. I'll keep with my sugar, and I'll do my best at limiting my intake. But I'm not going that whole fake substitute, Splenda, and whatever, all these weird sweeteners they've got now. Colax, and I don't know what it's called. I don't know why that name came to my head. But yeah, there's just some weird ones out there. Like, just weird. Colax. I don't think that is a sweetener. At least not a sweetener I would I would rush to putting in my coffee. Excuse me, honey, can you pass the Colax, please? Oh, that can't be right. Oh, but I don't know. I sometimes do wonder, though. There's a lot. But you hope that somebody's keeping an eye on that stuff for us. You know, as far as like just doing their best to say, hey, this stuff is not healthy. We can't do this. Anyways, look at the time. I started rambling about TV and fast food. I don't know what my brain does. I think I start recording too late at night. I think I need to start doing these recordings like straight away after work and when I'm a little bit more alert and alert. I guess is the best way to put it, but what are you gonna do? Let's hit a couple more rows here and we'll call it another episode of Kubota Farm. And we're wrapping up over on Buchern. So tomorrow's episode, Friday, Friday's Buchern. I doubt that'll be the last one because we've still got a couple of fields, 2 or 3 fields to harvest over there. But I'm thinking might just finish it up over the weekend and put a done stamp on Buchern. I'm going to miss Buchern, but it's time to move on. And I kind of want to focus a little bit more on East Vineland here, unless something else catches my eye strongly. But I think we've got a lot of work we can still do here at East Vineland. I like the misty morning views here in East Vineland. And come to think of it, we didn't get a lot of snow here in East Vineland. We got a lot more snow on Buchern, didn't we? And I'm thinking that's not right, because I don't know, is East Vineland upstate New York? Can't remember. New Jersey, it's New Jersey, that's right. So I guess I don't really know what their average snowfall would be in this neck of the woods. I've got to believe it's got to be healthy enough, I would think. But yeah, I'm liking this combination. This color combo is pretty sweet. And I've always liked the McCormick's and the looks of the McCormick's. I guess I just really haven't, again, used them a whole lot. I think I used to use them more, them and the New Hollands, and just haven't put them in my fleet as much as I used to. Case is another one. I used to use, oh boy, what was that? I forget which one. It was one of the, it was like 160, 150 horsepower, something like that. Used to use that a lot. Yeah. I'm gonna have to start rotating more and trying out different equipment more and not be a creature of habit. I really like the way the Valtras look and stuff, and I like the name Valtra. They sound kind of cool, and I think they look pretty sharp. And they're one tractor that I kind of see in real life too, that are always kind of got the funky colors going on, you know, the bright colors and whatnot. I think Valtra's Finnish, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure they are. Or close to that. Don't see any Valtras in my neck of the woods, that's for sure. I wish we did. I wish we would see a bigger variety of tractors. I know that's sacrilegious for you John Deere fans to hear that. In my neck of the woods, it's John Deere, Case. Let's see, John Deere, Case, and then I would say, you know, certainly sprinkles here and there of older equipment, like older Minneapolis, like Minneapolis Moline and Oliver's and Farmall, and you see a lot of old equipment around my area. Not a lot, but you definitely see it. Even occasionally, like some old Ford. Like I like the old Ford tractors; they're pretty sweet looking. But it is quite rare to see a Fendt and, you know, a Deutz, or, man, I don't even see, boy, I can't even remember the last time I saw a New Holland tractor, that is. I do see New Holland balers more often than their tractors, but again, you know, John Deere balers, John Deere combines, yeah, it's got to just be Midwest. It's Case IH and John Deere, I guess, you know, unless you're talking about the old stuff. But well, we are cracking out this field pretty good. What's our contract look like? 75%. That's actually gone a little bit faster than I thought. I thought for some reason this field went a little bit further down, but maybe that's just because of the slope I was looking at. It looked like it went a little bit further back over there. Is that our Texas field right there? No, I don't think so. It can't be. So yeah, after the last episode, I went and it was bugging me, so I went and looked at the state of Texas, because I had it in my mind, but I didn't have it in my mind, and I'm like, I need to look at the state of Texas. And I just was like, I just chuckled. I'm like, man, I wasn't even close. That field isn't even, I mean, if you were being super nice to me, you could say I was in the ballpark, but not really. Yeah, it was no state of Texas. I'm not the greatest with geography anyways. I remember memorizing my states to music, which is what was it from the musical Oklahoma or something like that, where they sing through all the states. And I used to know that song, and that's how I remember. Well, I learned it because it helped me memorize, you know, for school, alphabetically all the states. But then when it came to, okay, you know the states, now you gotta, you know, pin them on a map. Well, there's no songs that help with that. So excuse me, I remember I remember telling the teacher, I specifically do remember telling her, I was just so upset. I'm like, I know all the states. And she's like, and I think she was really nice about it. I think she was like, oh, sweetie, that's great, but that's only half of it. And I just, oh, man. So, oh, well. Just a sad moment in the life of Brad in elementary school. I'm sure you all have your recollections of good and bad times. I think we all definitely can remember good and bad times in school, without a doubt. All right, well, I am going to wrap this up, and I need to actually... I will finish this before we meet again, and I will also close it because I don't trust the disappearing contracts in this game anymore. So I will complete this contract, and we will figure out something else to do here next time in Kubota. We're getting close to harvest season, which will be great. Start seeing some money. There we go. Start seeing some money trickle in a little bit better for us. Thank you all again, though, for joining me here on Kubota Farms. And tonight, around 7, I'll have a episode of The Old Family Farm on Throwback Thursday. So if you feel like checking that out, please do. I'd appreciate it. You guys all take care of yourselves. Definitely take care of each other, and we'll see you back real soon.